What's up, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube, everybody out there? This is Phil20, and what I'm going to talk about today is kind of interesting. So, many of you know that I had the potassium hydroxide. I had 1 kilogram, and what I had done with the potassium hydroxide is, so I decided to add a bit of potassium to, 4 different batteries that was underperforming on the weaker bank, the weakest ones. So what I decided to do is add portions to it. For instance, the weakest one got the most, the other ones got a little bit more, and I wanted to see how that would perform by adding potassium hydroxide to the battery and see how it would operate. Well, it didn't do very good. It did pretty bad. One of the batteries is actually charging backwards now. Whenever the batteries, once it goes below 0.00 volts, it starts charging backwards and discharging the top bank. It's quite an interesting thing. So it will severely reduce the amount of energy that you get if you've got just one bad battery. And it's a problem that I've got to address. So what I went ahead and done was disconnect that battery bank, and I'm just going to have to live without that battery bank and get potassium hydroxide for, refurbishing the batteries the proper way. I also read quite a bit about the batteries, and some of the stuff that I was reading is you never add water during a low charge. So for instance, if your batteries are low and you add water to it, that renders the potassium hydroxide and water mixture useless. I'm not sure why. It's something to do with the oxygen moving between the plates, but I'm pretty sure that's what had happened when I added potassium hydroxide. So that is my bad. Everybody makes mistakes. I've added water to these batteries when it was not fully charged. You're supposed to fully charge your batteries and then you add your water. So that's something to always take consideration. If your batteries are not completely charged, you cannot add water to them at all. And also never add potassium hydroxide separate. Just empty the battery, get 2 pounds of potassium hydroxide if you're going to do one battery, and do one battery. So it takes around 30% potassium hydroxide and 70% water. So that's what is going to be the measurement by weight. So if I've got 8 pounds, 7 pounds of water, I'm going to put in 3 pounds of potassium hydroxide. And that's how it's going to work for now on, for me, for now on, ever. And so that's how I'm going to do it. 30% potassium hydroxide and 70% water is going to be by weight, volume, is what's going into the batteries for now on. And you can measure it with your, pH balance tester. I've got one now, and, even though there's not much I can do besides, test it. I like testing it, but it's really messy. So what I think is the best situation is to clean one battery at a time very carefully. That way you don't spill anything or move anything around. I mean, it's just so much better just to do it that way. So remember, this is just a quick overview of what's going on. I had batteries charging back. I had one battery charging backwards after I added potassium hydroxide, and I didn't add the potassium hydroxide in it when it was fully charged, and so it actually added water with it. And whenever I added water, I don't think it was completely charged. In fact, I think it was completely discharged. So all the batteries are really overdue for replacement of potassium hydroxide. So that's something I didn't know. If your batteries are dead, you have to add water when they're fully charged. Don't add water when they're dead. This is Philip20, and I'm just talking about some ED-240 Edison type batteries. See you next time. Peace. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video. There's lots more content coming. Click the subscribe button below. Make sure you come back for more because there's great content always coming up every day in this channel. See you next time. Peace.